What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we are working on my Audi. So about 2 weeks ago we decided we were going to replace we decided we were going to replace the water pump and thermostat because we were leaking a good amount of coolant. Now when I put the car back together, everything ran great, right? Ran like a dream, pulled like a dream, and then I started getting soft codes for the PCV and the evap. And then I cleared the codes. I got OBD11 to clear them and everything. So here's our evap, and here is the PCV breather hose that goes to the intake, right? So the PCV can open. Now, when I put this car back together, I put the evap hose on the intake and the breather hose on the evap. Now, here's the crazy thing. I labeled them, and I still put them on back together wrong. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and swap these hoses, pray that we get no soft coat. If we do, I'll clear it, see if it comes back, drive it around a little bit. And if not, I still have a PCV breather hose and a PCV kit from FCP Euro coming. So if we need to, we'll replace it, but this car's been sitting for 5 days. So fingers crossed this fixes it, and let's do it. Now, if you guys work on these cars, you know how much of a pain it is to get the supercharger off. I was about to pull this thing off to see if the PCV had actually gone bad. I haven't torn it apart since we did the water pump and the thermostat, which was honestly a pretty easy job once you get the hang of it. Let's see if this will come off now. I pulled the grommet out, but that's not coming. We'll get a pick. So anyway, back to the water pump. So we replaced it and we ran the car, and like I said, the car ran fantastic, right? Now I will say, I wasn't able to read the oil level or the temperatures, so that was concerning me. I ran the car for 20-30 minutes and still no temperatures, which sometimes the computer can be finicky, especially if the car's been sitting. But I was worried I was having oil consumption, so I checked the blow-by on the oil cap. There was pretty much no suction. There was plenty of coolant in the car. Everything else was running great. So I was just so confused as to why I was getting PCV codes and evap codes, and now my question has been answered. So and if you guys have channel lock pliers, this is probably the worst way to do this, but it's what I'm working with right now because I don't have actual hose clamp pliers. So we'll hope this fixes our soft codes. And if it doesn't, then we have a PCV on the way already. Just get this nice and snugged up here, and that should do it. Okay. Now, I was a little concerned because I had the supercharger off and I didn't replace the PCV. I'm new to tearing apart these cars. This was my first time, so being able to get the water pump and thermostat in 3 days was an accomplishment for me. Let's go ahead and see if this thing starts up. And yeah. Take this thing for a little drive. Make sure it's still running good. So the B8s had a terrible PCV failure, right? They had terrible water pump failure. Now, the B8.5s, they still have water pump failure. They still have PCV failures, thermostat, those vacuum lines that are really brittle, the coolant crossover hoses. I've learned a lot about these cars just from watching a few YouTube videos. And I will say the awesome thing about taking your own car apart is just being able to learn and understand what's going on in your engine bay, under the hood. Like, so looks like we got no check engine light right now. We're gonna get it to operating temp. We're gonna check the coolant when we get back and check the oil. So here we go. So my car, for reference, has 84,000 miles. The water pump and the thermostat were replaced at 35 or 40,000 miles. So I bought this car knowing good and well, I was like, I probably won't have to replace it again. I mean, they last, I think Audi says, from like 60 to 100,000 miles, you know, a new water pump, unless it's just faulty. And I was surprised that it failed 40,000 miles later. This car is in tune. It's got downpipes, it's got an intake, it's got the ECS catback, and that's it. I haven't done anything else performance-wise to this car, mostly because I'm broke, but also because I want to keep this thing as reliable as possible. So seems to be running really good. Now you can hear that intake sucking. When I was driving it before, it felt like there was this blockage, like in the car. I would, you know, tap the gas and the throttle response was so delayed. I was like, what is going on with this car? I pressure tested it. I checked every single form, every single possible symptom, and nothing was lining up. I was like, what is wrong with this car? Like, I knew if it was PCV, I'd be having oil consumption problems. I knew if it was something timing chain related, I would be having oil consumption problems. And really, the 5 big things when you're working on these cars, what did they fail the most? You got the PCV, the water pump, the thermostat, timing chains or tensioners, and then you've just got random leaks from the coolant lines or a broken vacuum hose. Really, these cars, you can narrow it down pretty easily to what's going on mechanically. So I don't want to jinx myself, but I think this was a quick fix. I still have the PCV coming in from FCP. I will probably be replacing it anyway at some point, or I may just let it sit for a while. And then if I do ever go stage 1 or decide to tune this car, then I will be replacing it. So let's go ahead and check the oil and see if there's any on that. All right, let's go and click into the oil. There's no information right now. Like I said, this car's been sitting for a while. I'll just keep driving it around, probably for another 5-10 minutes and see if it decides to warm up. Okay. Okay, it's pulling great. There's no vacuum issues at the moment that I can think of. I'm getting no more soft codes. I think we fixed it. I think that's the end of this video, guys. Pop back into comfort mode. Yeah, I think that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching this quick little video on basically my stupidity. If you guys have anything else you want to see from this car, let me know. I was thinking about doing either 034 or Jackal Motorsports for a stage 1 tune. Don't think I'm quite ready for dual pull yet or anything like that. I still need a heat exchanger and I still need a some test pipes. So yeah, but thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.